Hello, my name is Kiriath, and today we are going to talk about this, the new Keeper of Secrets, what was revealed at Adepticon at 2 o'clock in the morning, which is why this video is somewhat later than that, because I was not awake at that time, thankfully. There's also some other really nice Slaanesh stuff that we'll take a look at the same time. We are going to cover all of the Adepticon stuff, because there is some fun stuff in there, but let's be honest, this kind of deserves its own video, and I know there will be those of you who, frankly, do not give a shit about the rest of the stuff that was revealed, but will want to know about this, and will want to see this. So we're splitting it up that way. The other one probably won't be very long. I'm just going to have to do my level best not to just, gush endlessly about this model. So there will also be in the background, in the video that was placed on the Warhammer community site, where you can get a few kind of better glances, some better angles of this model. And indeed some of the others as well. I mean, there's a new Demon Prince with Herald attached, like a 2-in-1 combo. There's a new masque, and there's like a really weird mirrory thing, which I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it looks interesting. But first, this. So this is the new Keeper of Secrets, which we knew was coming. It was a fairly safe bet. It was a fairly safe prediction to make. And I absolutely love this. I'm not exaggerating when I say that this is quite possibly my favourite model that Games Workshop have done. And I thought Abaddon was pretty close to the top, but this has kind of pushed him down the list. Let's not get too excited here. Has moved him down the list somewhat. I just cannot find a part of this model I do not like. It has everything that I would want from a greater Demon of Slaanesh, from a Keeper of Secrets. It has all of the properly defining characteristics that make Slaanesh such an interesting god. I mean, it's not just little details, like the fact that, once again, it would have been very easy to go over the top with this. It would have been very easy to pile on the detail, to make it covered in, countless amounts of like rune or scars or decoration or symbols, or it could have been very easy to go very excessive with it. But whoever sculpted it, I need to find out who sculpted it, because it's so good. They didn't do that. They have kept it relatively simple, and it works so well because of that. The pose I absolutely love, because for a start, we don't have the dreaded hero pose situation going on. This is, I think, one of the more fun poses, because it's not massively complicated. It is just walking forwards, but the way the claw arms are back and out, the way one hand has the sword down, but the other is sort of lifted with those long talons, there is a definite sensation of movement from this. It looks like it's coming towards you, and it looks like it's not going to stop. I really like kind of relatively simple poses that still do a lot to give movement to models, and this is absolutely perfect with it. The way the cape that is attached to the wrists as well as the back, the way it kind of flows down but billows out slightly. It's not running, it's not leaping, it's not charging, it's just walking towards you like in an unstoppable way. I absolutely love that aspect of it. It looks menacing and scary. I also really like the fact that it's not like the Forge World version of the Keeper of Secrets. It's not like there's multiple versions of like the Creature Caster stuff that are Keeper of Secrets-esque, as in, exposed everything, loads of skin showing, overtly, severely feminine. I like that this isn't that, because that's not all that Slaanesh is. Slaanesh isn't the god of curvy, Slaanesh isn't the god of nude women. Slaanesh is the god of excess, and having this somehow, all at the same time, slim, but clearly heavily muscled, androgynous, masculine, feminine figure, it works so well for Slaanesh as a whole. There are just little details, like something that I'm still not even sure whether I'm seeing, or whether it's actually there, or whether it's something I'm just seeing, is when you look at the like the midriff of this model and you move up, you can clearly see that there's defined abs going up, and then when it gets to the chest, one side is obviously feminine, one side is masculine. It's very clearly laid out. I don't know whether it's because the kind of, I don't even know what the hell to call that bit of clothing that's going around there. It's not like a corset, it's whatever it is. That bit of cloth that's kind of covering the sides and doing a terrible job of covering the middle, it kind of looks like the masculine side of the chest is just more... there's just more there. It looks like there's more muscle there than there is on the feminine side, which I can't tell if I'm just seeing that or whether it is actually there. I think it's there. Either way, the fact that that's something that's kind of jumped out at me a couple of times, whether intentional or not, just goes to show that I think there's just so much in the way of little details in this thing that make it so effective. It's not completely over the top. It's not like massively in your face. It's relatively subtle. I mean, it seems weird to say that when it seems to have what look like suspenders made of its own skin, which, I mean, that's kind of, maybe that's not subtle, but it's not as overt as the older one. It's not as overt as the Forge World one. It's not as kind of hypersexualized as like the Forge World or Creature Caster stuff. It's androgynous, and it's somehow still feminine whilst being definitely masculine, and it has that very kind of creeping, just unsettling feel that I think is exactly what Slaanesh needs. Not everything needs to be like the new Fiends of Slaanesh. I do like the new Fiends of Slaanesh. They're amazing. They're so weird and just like alien and otherworldly. But not all of them need to be like that, because there's a lot of contrast and there's a lot of variation between the different kind of natures that Slaanesh has. And this seems to just embody all of them. It's like, it's recognisably humanoid, but the face is wrong. The horns are wrong. The arms kind of look normal almost until you get to the hands, which are clawed and ugly. The tops of the legs start normal, but become these weird, kind of overly muscled, just too long, almost like animal legs. It's just such a creepy model, and I love it. I just cannot find a part of it I don't like. I've kind of sat there and I've kind of looked at it over and over again and been like, okay, but surely that bit could have been changed. And then I've gone, no, actually, there's no point changing that because it works so well as it is. There's no reason to change any of it. I mean, even small things. The large collar around the neck, that kind of, I almost want to say like almost like vampire style collar. For some reason, that's a fairly feminine thing, combined with the hair being up and back. It kind of reminds me of what is it? Is it the Vampire Countess? I can't remember what her name is from the Fantasy / Age of Sigmar range. It's sort of similar to that. If you put your finger literally over the face of the Keeper of Secrets and you just see that big kind of floppy collar and the hair and the horns, you would be safe to assume that there is an assuming, like I would guess, if you didn't already know it was there, a quite beautiful female face. But then you take your hand away and you don't have that. You have this harsh, kind of almost angular, like bovine kind of feel face. It's just unsettling in the best possible way. I cannot I think they've properly nailed this model. It's just done such a good job with it. I wasn't sure what to expect, because there has been a thing, like Death Guard especially being the prime example of over-detailing stuff. It's something we've talked about before, where things have got kind of excessive. They've got a bit over the top. There's been so much detail that it's been kind of difficult to actually make out the model as a whole. It's kind of felt very cluttered and very busy. I was really worried that something like that might happen here, but it hasn't. They've just done a fucking great job with this. It's so good. Okay, let's have a look at the other stuff, because I'm pretty sure I've gushed for fucking ages. I'm not going to look at the time on the video because it'll make me sad with how long I've just rambled. So let's have a look at some of the other parts of this model. So the kind of flowing cape at the back there, there's a quite nicely detailed tail, actually. I really hope the scale bits in there are actually part of the plastic, because there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to paint that otherwise. I'm just going to say that right now. I'll be shit out of luck. But yeah, that's, again, a nice bit of detail at the back. You wouldn't see it from the front, but it just adds an extra alien quality to it. The shield looks nice. I do like the shield. Oh, actually, think about it. The shield is on that picture, but it's not on the one above. So, looks like maybe like a small amount of war gear option. Probably not a huge amount. I'd imagine it's probably just the shield or the hand. I wouldn't have thought there'd be anything else. Be interested to know if there's another sword, actually, for the other side. That is kind of, to be honest, the shield is fine. I think you'd probably use that for Tzeentch as well. It's sort of like almost like not god specific, that shield. It does look Slaanesh, but I think it could also look Tzeentch with a little bit of work as well. So if you want that for your bits box and you get this, well, use it for other stuff. Oh, and there's like little detail on the claws as well. That kind of scaled. I don't even know. Like, I guess it's just skin, isn't it? Just like scaled skin under the armor plating. But it's only on the claws, it's not on the arms itself. Again, which is a nice touch. And the way it kind of feeds down there, yeah. It's just such a good model. It is such a good model. I cannot wait for this. I haven't bought a bad one yet. I have way too much other stuff to paint, but this is going to be like just a day one buy. The second it goes on pre-order, I'm going to have to get it. I have no choice. Okay, the other stuff. So I tell you what, we'll save the Demon Prince for last because I really like that. There's the masque, which is this one, which I do like. I like that a lot. There's like little Harlequin nods in there as well, which is fun on the ribbon. I don't know what that bit is. It kind of also feels like that with the weird, again, the weird like stocking situation thing that's going on there, which again I think is just its skin. It's so off-putting. In a good way, but it's so off-putting. Yeah, that's a nicely done model. I quite like the ruff. Very stylish ruff going on there. I don't think they've actually said what this thing is. The big whatever this is. The weird mirror whirlpool thing. I look at that. I like it. I do like it. I'd be interested to know what it does and how it works. It kind of looks like it can move. Can propel itself around with its weird metal tail things that it's got. The demonettes on it are fine. I'm not a big fan of the flowy sleeves on that one. To be honest, I could happily not have the flowy sleeves. The faces are a little odd, but I don't really know why. I think it's probably because of the masks over the top of them. They look a bit strange, and the ears on that one kind of look like bunny ears almost. That might have been what they were going for, but it's not to my personal taste. To be honest, the other one I don't mind as much. I quite like that one. I like that one more than this one. The one on the right as opposed to the left. But yeah, I have no idea what it does. I'd like to know because it looks funky. It looks interesting. And it'd be nice if there was more stuff with these kind of weird metal conduit, like tentacle things. I could happily use those in lots and lots and lots of conversions. Not necessarily all Slaanesh based either. They're just fun. So the other thing was the Demon Prince. So Sil-esque apparently is the name. Probably said that wrong, but it's fine. Again, I really, really like this. I really like this because it's more subtle again. Something that I've always found, and something which I don't know whether it's just me. Being a Demon Prince doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be like a hulked out roid monster. Like when you look at the Demon Princes that Games Workshop sells, a lot of them, well I say a lot of them, there's only like 3 available, one of them's Be'lakor. They are big, beefy, like hulked out guys, maybe with wings if you want. They don't have to be. Like, ascending to become a Demon Prince, there's not like standard template for Demon Princes, as far as I'm aware. Anyway, some of them, perhaps, if they feel they've already achieved some level of perfection, for instance, would perhaps not want to become a giant hulked-out roid monster. They might want to retain their form to some degree. I really like this guy, because on the face of it, it's like, he's a demon prince, he just looks kind of normal. And then you realise, oh wait, he's fucking massive. He's ridiculously tall. He is grown up and out, but he's not just become the same as all the other demon princes that you tend to see. It's a nice different take on it, and something I'd like to see them do more of. Make more of a distinction between what makes like a Slaneshi demon prince and what makes a Khorne demon prince and a Nurgle demon prince and a Tzeentch demon prince. I'd quite like to see more kind of, I guess, separation of the different styles of God, because they're not all going to look the same. This feels very appropriate for Slaanesh. It's relatively subtle, because he is covered in what look like ritual scarring, which is cool. He's also massive, which obviously helps a lot, and he does seem to have a herald just like perched on his weird metal wing things. They're not really wings, are they? What are they? Ornamentation, whatever they are. I like this. I actually really like this. I know it's not like, again, it's not overt. It's not like, this is a demon prince. It's a lot more subtle than that, but that's why I like it, because not every demon prince will become a giant freak. Not all of them are going to have like some sort of demonic face or you know, there's so much more to be explored with that particular side of the lore and models, where you don't necessarily need to have them all look like that. And this doesn't look like that. This looks almost normal. Almost. It looks more Warlord-esque than Demon Prince, until you realise just how fucking big the guy is. And then it's like, okay, right, yeah, no. That's significant, the change he's been through. Just some solid work for the Slaanesh stuff. Really solid work. Oh man, I'm super happy with this stuff. Genuinely. I mean, I could see as well, like, that Demon Prince could easily be turned into a 40k Demon Prince. No problem. No problem at all. Add a bit of cabling in. Maybe either replace the head. Might not even need to replace the head. You could get away with, like, maybe sticking some cables into the scalp and towards the back. Get a backpack from... If you could source a backpack from one of the Primarchs, that would work really well due to the size of the guy. But failing that, there's plenty of ways to expand out existing backpacks. Could add a Chaos shoulder pad on either side if you really wanted to. Should be easy to stick some wings on the guy as well. Oh, there's so much that could be done. So much that could be done! I'm going to end up buying this as well, aren't I? Christ. Okay. That is the new Keeper of Secrets. That is the new Demon Prince, the new masque, the weird floaty mirror thing. I'm all on board for these. They look great. Genuinely, really happy with them. I cannot get enough of that model. Easily one of my favourite things they've ever done. It could well be, quite possibly is, my favourite thing they've done. So good. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling now. Let me know what you think of all of those things in the comments down below. And in the meantime, feel free to click Patreon, video, subscribe, all of that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click it if you don't want to. And I will see you for the rest of the Adepticon roundup. Because otherwise, oh my god, otherwise this video would be like 4 hours long. Christ. Toodaloo.